Today I decided to quilt just for fun, playing with fabrics and colors. And before I knew it, it had become something I love. So special, it stole my heart. Let me show you. Let's pick out our fabrics. I'm going with 3, 1 solid and 2 pattern. And since I'm not shying away from color today, I am using this lovely purple. Now we cut 3.5-inch strips from one of our pattern fabrics and twice as many for the solid one, because that's going to be used for every piece we make. However, do not think for a second that this is going to look basic by the time we're done. It is in fact going to look absolutely gorgeous, so stick with me. Next step is cutting each 3.5-inch strip into 9 each rectangles real quick. If this is the total width of fabric, I should get about 4 or 5 pieces from each strip. And now that we have them, let's go ahead and make our first pair. We're going to line up 2 rectangles, 1 solid and 1 print, to form a sort of an L shape. Now we draw a line to the corner of the pattern fabric like so, and so. If you add another 1/4 inch line outside from this main one, you'll immediately get a half square triangle ready to go. And you can even use it for the backing, for example. Imagine this, a solid fabric with just a strip of HSTs going down. How cute is that? This is what we get, and the idea here is keep adding more pieces until you reach the size you want. I'm thinking 3 pattern fabrics and 2 solid ones should be enough. How do we end this? Well, we need some simple 3.5-inch squares for our points. And next we press, making sure that the seams fall to the pattern fabric. That way, when you join all the rows, the seams will nest perfectly. And here we go, our first line looking pretty promising. Let's make some more. Let's start by cutting all our fabric real quick. That way we can bulk our tasks and make it easier and quicker. If that's at all possible, considering how easy peasy this pattern is. And now we need our second fabric, which is a bit more simple than our first, but I think it will look even more striking. So you tell me after we've done it. Now this next part is very important. We need to repeat all the steps we did before, except the L is now mirrored. So let's go. If you haven't figured it out yet, we are doing a stretched herringbone quilt pattern, so we need our pieces to face different directions for this to work. And that's how we do it. I've decided to use only 2 pattern fabrics, but this would look pretty awesome if we used more fabrics or even one of each. I did it like this because I wanted to showcase how quick this project can be and still look awesome, because I'm just dealing with 2 strips of pattern fabric instead of cutting one 3.5 by 9 inch rectangle from a bunch of different fabrics. But if time and effort is not a concern for you, then just go ahead and showcase all your pretty fabrics. And while we're at it, a quick reminder. If you'd like to see more of my videos and support my work, you can now join my YouTube membership or my Patreon. Every month, I add exclusive videos just for members. Your support helps me keep creating new videos for you each week, so thank you. And if you think about it, we're bypassing so many steps because there's no making the block, then making the puzzle, then sewing the blocks into rows. We're doing the rows right now. And now that I'm looking at it, this would look pretty cool if I just made a narrower piece and made a table runner instead of the wider baby quilt I had in mind. Actually, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I ran out of purple fabric. Yeah, so a table runner it is. I promised dramatic and I meant it. Also, there's nothing basic about this quilt other than how simple it is to make. Low effort, high reward is my goal here. Chevrons, herringbones, zigzags, they're all very similar. What changes is the angle of the point really, but regardless of what it is, it always ends up looking so cool, so classy, no matter what fabrics or technique you use to make them. They're definitely my top 3 shapes to make. And And before you know it, we're done. We have 5 very cute rows ready to be turned into a lovely, lovely table topper. Like the rest of this pattern, there isn't much to do when it comes to our puzzle. All we need is to make sure our points are pointing in different directions and meeting each other in the middle. But other than that, we're just stacking our rows, which aren't even that many. So each side of a herringbone features a different color, and this is actually a broken herringbone because a complete one would be matching pattern fabrics followed by matching solids, and I'm just not doing that today. So a broken, stretched herringbone table topper. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? The next step is sewing all these pieces together to make sure to hit those corners perfectly. And for that, we do some seam nesting real quick to make sure it all goes to plan. Which it should because of the way we press those seams. I think this is the quickest sewing of a patchwork top I've ever done. It's a blink and you'll miss it stage for sure. Let's go ahead and press so I can show you what this looks like. I think you'll love it. No trimming required either. Oh, so awesome. Okay, this is looking pretty great. Let's go ahead and finish this piece into the perfect table topper, or a large placemat, really. I think the orange will look absolutely perfect, and because we want this to remain as simple as it possibly can, we're doing some self-binding. But first, we quilt some straight lines along our herringbone seams. Such a simple quilting pattern, and yet the result is so stunning. Now, about this self-binding, nothing to it. We fold once to hide the raw edges and twice to bind the piece. And this is what we get, a stretched herringbone quilt pattern that looks so fancy and dramatic. And look at that, the perfect size for my side shelf. Awesome! I love it, I hope you do too, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!